G'day and welcome. Welcome to Elite Monitoring. My name is Mark Cameron. I'm just going to run you through a few of the charts that this program produces. The first one we're going to look at is not that one. The first one we're going to look at is a yearly comparison. Now this is not going to actually show you a great deal at the moment because we don't have any previous data in the test data, but what it actually does is it looks at one player over whatever variable you choose, and we've always got this list of variables, they're always there, and we can choose whether to take a weekly average or a cumulative total. So let's have a look at the sum. So in June of this year, player 6 has gone through just about 7,000 loading units. Okay, what would happen if there was test data is right here, there'd be a nice red line of exactly how much they've went through in June of last year, and here would be a nice green one where they went the year before. And so you can look at changes over a longer period of time, and you can also look for historical peaks and troughs that that player normally goes through. Unfortunately, it doesn't look that pretty because I don't have the test data at the moment, but that's okay. As per usual, it prints to an A4 page, and as per usual, you can change the players' names and everything like that. The other one we're going to look at is the graph builder, which is a really powerful little thing of making graphs. Now, if your supervisors and players, or even yourself, are very visual in the way you look at things, this is quite good because you can actually change a lot of things. So what we've got here at the moment is our favourite player 6, and we're grouping the data by a week of 1, which I'll explain in a second, but we've got 4 variables. We've got total load, we've got daily mean load, we've got training hours, and we've got weight. And so we can check all of these things, and it actually shows what axis they're on. Weight is on the secondary axis. So by clicking this change graph button, we can do 2 things to start with. One, we can compare many variables at once, which is what we're doing. So let's have a look at that. So we go to OK. Okay, from here, what are we doing? We want to see a specific player, an age, a specific age, or a specific type. At the moment, let's stick with player, but we can group them by players and group them by ages and things like that. We can choose the player, and there's our list, a drop down there, and we'd like to see how many weeks we could average or sum together. So if you decide that 7 days isn't an appropriate amount of time to group things together, if you decide that 3 weeks is better to have a rolling average of 3 or 4 weeks as opposed to 1 week, we can do it like that as well. And now what we've got here is we've got our 4 variables down the left hand side here, and basically everything that we can change is on the right hand side. So we have the chart type. We can make it a line graph, column graph, or stacked graph. Okay, and if we click on that, it'll change it for all. So let's make it a column graph, and we'll keep total load at a column graph, and we'll keep it at average, and we'll keep it at primary. Okay, so looking through here, we can change any of these things that we wish. So if we go to close, it does a little bit of thinking, and there you go. It's changed it to a nice, easy to see column graph, and that's very simple. What we can also do is we can compare many players at once. So what we've got here, let's have a look. I'd like to compare players, or you could compare groups. So you can compare fast bowlers to spinners. You could compare in the medium paces, or whatever it is, or you can compare all of them. Let's stick with players. That's fine. Okay, what specific group would we like to compare? And this is just an easy way of running through the names, basically. Let's go to all. There we go. What specific variable would you like to compare? Let's compare total load. Let's sum them by 1 week, just like as per usual. How would we like to calculate the data? Now, if this is a number more than 1, we can choose to sum that data together or average it out. Or we can do some very, very fancy things. We can look at some standard deviations, some mins, some minimums, some maximums, all kinds of things. So it's quite a little powerful thing. We can choose to have a line graph, we could choose to have column or a stacked graph, and how many decimal points, and that's only if there's some very specific information that you need. And there we go, that is a very noisy graph, and that's fine. To change that, and to filter some of that out, you can just filter some of these players' names out, and you can look at whatever you want to look at. There we go. What we can see is that around this period here, week 12 to 16 has been quite busy. Okay, player 7's been quite active in the pre-season by the look of it. The other boys have come in late. and that's what that shows. And it just shows a very easy way of comparing players at the same point in time. As per usual, you can print this graph, and it's probably the most powerful graph that is on the Elite Monitoring program. So have a bit of fun with it. There's plenty of things you can do with it, and yeah, good luck. See ya. Bye.